Microphone check, microphone check. I don't wanna hear any static on that bitch. We've been waiting. New podcast episodes, new music, new Remember Buddha. Guess what? It's motherfucking here. I have dropped my new mixtape, The Gray Area, this week, and I wanted to come on and have a solo dolo episode talking about the whole process, the breakdown of the project, my inspiration behind it, and that's what I'm here to do. We are here to give you another fly on the wall episode. Welcome back, my friends. We will be kicking off more interviews after the rollout is finished for this mixtape. So stay tuned for more. Don't change that motherfucking channel. With that being said, I feel like we should just jump in and let's talk about this motherfucking mixtape. So I dropped a 14-track mixtape called The Gray Area this past Monday. And I know that's not a traditional release day. Most people typically will release on Fridays. And for me, I had a kind of a weird instinct thing. And that was my original plan. I was going to drop it this recent Friday, April 5th, I believe. I had kind of like the voice in my head telling me, hey, maybe doesn't feel right to drop it then. Find another day. Find something that kind of fits a little bit more meaning-wise in what, this mixtape is supposed to almost feel like you're in between changing TV channels, if I had to describe it in a way. And dropping it on a Friday just didn't feel right for some reason. And, I moved it to this Monday, and that was the same day as the solar eclipse. I did not plan that shit. Kind of fits the theme of the mixtape, weirdly enough. And the Friday I was planning to release, guess what? This is a big reason I don't like dropping on Fridays. It always gets oversaturated by other big releases and other big things. I'm not big enough yet to compete with the likes of a Kendrick Lamar, a J. Cole, a Drake, even fucking lesser artists than those. I'm still not there yet. But with that being said, J. Cole dropped a fucking fire-ass mixtape, surprise mixtape, on April 5th, and it had the Kendrick diss track on there, which that stirred a whole lot of controversy. We all know that. The internet was up in flames. I'd love to get into that more on another episode of the podcast about my feelings about the diss tracks being thrown between those two. And really, I feel like it should be more of a Kendrick Drake beef than a Kendrick J. Cole beef, because Kendrick wasn't even really stabbing at J. Cole. I think J. Cole just wanted to throw his name in the hat. It was very strange. But I respect game when I see it. I like to see you at least put a foot forward in a sense. And then J. Cole has also retracted his diss track, taking it off of Spotify and apologized. Crazy. I don't even know. I'll explain more about it on another episode. This episode is about me. See, I'm letting that shit dominate again. And anyway, I released this project on Monday. And it was a weird Sixth Sense thing that I changed it last minute to release it on Monday instead of Friday. And look, I dodged a major bullet. And I like the idea of feeling like you have your own day for your music. You have like almost your own specific, it's not just tied to the weekend or tied to Friday and club bangers and whatever the fuck. I mean, we're in this weird we're getting out of it, but this like live for the weekend era where people are just forgetting every day is just as valuable. And I feel like this project kind of embodies that a little bit too with the release date. So anyway, I dropped this project, The Gray Area. Let me tell you about where the idea kind of came from, or I guess how the project really came about. I've been working on this album, Untitled. I'm not going to name it yet. I kind of have some names I'm throwing around for it. We're still in the process of finishing everything. And I've been working on this album for like probably 4 or 5 years. Probably two or three of those years subliminally, like not knowing I was making songs for an album. Until I realized the context that everything started to fit in. And now I kind of have a solidified track list for said album. And I had to have made 200, 250 songs, demos. Some of them might just be unfinished beats or like unfinished hooks, whatever. But I created 100 to 250 demos of ideas that were all really great and can all still be fleshed out, because there's no way I can just Mac DeMarco you motherfuckers and drop 250 songs right now. It would go over your heads. But I did have room to find a place for 14 of them, and they fit in a context. Maybe not the context for the album, but the context for this mixtape, The Gray Area. And I call it the gray area because there's a gray area to a lot of things, the in-between phase. And this mixtape is like the in-between phase. It's before you get this peak, insane fucking album that I'm working on. And it's still, this mixtape is peak and insane as well. It's just getting you prepared. Also, I haven't released a project in a long time. It's been 2021 I dropped New Gardens, I think. That's 3 years ago. And I think to the day, actually, I think I dropped New Gardens on April 8th. That's kind of weird. Full circle moment. Again, I didn't plan that shit. Sometimes God does that stuff for you. And, it just happened that way. But with this mixtape, that being said, a lot of these tracks, I don't want to use the word throwaways. I hate the word throwaways because art is recyclable. You can't just throw it away. You can always find a purpose for it. And, its intention is to be out in the world and be seen and be loved and be heard and be saw, whatever it is, And a lot of these cuts, they were so good. I was like, fuck, I need to release these. I can't just not. I've done this with so many records before where I just make a bunch of incredible shit and then I worry about one whole project and I never put the other shit out. And everything deserves a chance that I make. I really believe that. I think I make some of the most incredible shit. And I'm going to toot my own horn here. I'm going to talk my shit. I self-produce a lot of this shit. I arrange the sonics of what I'm doing. I mixed this whole project. Granted, there were some other producers who helped me. Louis did drums on the first and third song. And he also added this crazy percussion on the third song too. This dude, Aiden, now this is cool as fuck. I met him. So I post my podcast on TikTok. He saw my podcast on TikTok. He liked what I was talking about, followed me on Instagram, reached out to me, told me he makes beats, whatever. I said, send me what you got. I will crush that shit. I promise you. Sent me a 2-pack. They both were fire, but this Rage beat really caught my fucking ears at the moment. And I was like, you know what? Let me hop on this bitch and snap off real quick. So I sent him the demo back. Him and his homie sent me a voice memo of them fucking with it and kind of got me hype about it. I'm like, we got to find a way to get this shit out. It doesn't fit on the album per se, but there's a project or a single way we could get this out. And it found its way onto the mixtape as the second cut, 11/28/23. That's the name of the title. And I'll get into the titles of the track list and why I did that soon too. But Aiden Brooks is his name. He's from Palm Springs, I think, and I'm not sure if that's Palm Springs, California or Palm Springs, Florida. But I do know the dude is hard as fuck with his beats, bro. And he's a young kid, so keep an eye out for him. If y'all are rapping, if y'all are singing, if y'all are doing some shit, please hit him up on Instagram, wherever. Just try and reach out to him. But beyond all that, those were the producers that helped me with the production. And my friend Daniel Fitzpatrick, one of the front instrumentalists of Root Mod. He's been a big inspiration for me musically a lot my whole life, and he came over, we worked on a few tracks. He added bass to, which one was it? It's 5/2/23, and then he added bass and drums to 3/25/23. Those are the two other tracks, and that 3/25/23 is probably my top 3 favorite on the mixtape. It's so good. Feels like my iteration of Lost in the World by Kanye. It's just crazy percussion, drum loop, and it's this ethereal, I don't know how you pronounce it, everyone says it different, type pad going through it, and then I'm just singing these lush melodies. I got a nice rap verse on there, and it's just something that'll take you away. But those were all the other producers in the capacity that they helped me with, Everything else, I did it all myself. And granted, I'll use loops from Splice and shit like that. And I know that's like big producer, no loops, whatever the fuck. I look at the results. I'm not looking at the journey for the beat making anymore. Like I've self-produced all my own shit with synths, pads, and samples since forever. But now I'm more focused on my artist journey. And I feel like the way I can construct with Splice makes it work faster. I'm lazy. Slap that shit together in 10 minutes. I got something to write to. And all of this stuff was self-produced by me. I organized the structure. And when I say produce, everyone always goes, oh, so you physically made the loop. Da-da-da-da. Bro, producing is orchestrating and creating the song. That is what I did. I orchestrated the arrangements, and they would not be the same were it not my mind behind it. You know, it would be very different, I'm sure, if someone else took the loops. I think of things differently. I strategize to have things make a unique brand of sound. And I pride myself in being a sound designer and creating things that parallel certain emotions that you can't describe with words, that you can only describe with sounds. And, you know, some of those sounds I can't play. Some of them I gotta find. Some of them I gotta sample. And that's what hip hop is, man. That's what we do. We remix shit and we make it better. And with that being said, let me jump into some more shit about this project. It's 14 tracks, right? I originally wanted to do like a shorter project. I wanted to do like 7 to 8, something quick for you. But I'm like, you know what? I got so much shit. I got to find a way to empty the vault. Similar, not the same, but similar to how Mac DeMarco did it with, One Wayne G. Or like, I felt like this project reminded me, I got a lot of inspiration from like Endless from Frank Ocean or Untitled Unmastered by Kendrick Lamar. It's almost these precursors to these big epic fucking albums. And then you're going to get My Blonde. And then you're going to get my To Pimp a Butterfly or My Damn, which is next. And these songs, I hate describing them as like a throwaway because they aren't. They are so fucking good. There's a lot of meaning, a lot of definition and context behind them. A lot of thought went into each song. I just truly believe that they are all really great records and the best shit that you will hear. You know, I think that what it did for me, listening to these, I would listen to the mixes. I've been going on walks lately, pop my headphones in, listen to the mix for the whole walk just to double check, listen to it in my car, listen to it on the sound bar in my house. And man, I feel like you can hear my evolution in every project. And that's what everyone said so far as review and feedback. I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I got a lot of sweet texts the morning I dropped it. I really fucking appreciate that from everybody. I need this shit. This is actually something I do want to talk about. Now that I'm thinking of it. Leading up to the release, I've never been more nervous. And I'm normally not that bugging out about stuff, but I really fucking care about my shit. I really fucking care. This isn't just some show-off bullshit. This isn't just some, oh, I'm going to drop music because it'll make me the cool guy, or I can get bitches if I drop this shit, or I can fucking whatever, the ego talk, whatever. This is just simply a reflection of myself, always, and it will always be that and more. And you're really getting a lot of my exoskeleton on a lot of these newer releases that I'm giving you, and, you know, I just am really proud of who I'm becoming. And I think because of that, sharing that side of me with you, that vulnerability, that's a big thing. I got so much more vulnerable on all these records. Just wait for the fucking album too. But the mixtape is almost equally as vulnerable and, you know, gives you a side of me that you might not get in a conversation. You might not get that in my Instagram posts or my TikTok posts or my podcast episodes. It's stuff that you can only pull from the music because it's a language that I speak. And, you know, just like English, I got my own slang. I got my own shit, you know, and It's unique to me, and I'm not really sounding like anybody else out here. I'm not. And I'm producing a lot of this from scratch, and, you know, I'm just pulling it from my fucking heart, man. And that's all you can do and all you should do when you're making music. It shouldn't be for fucking profit, bullshit, whatever the fuck. I'm cool. Y'all motherfuckers corny, whatever. All that stupid shit, that's corny as fuck. You need to make art, my man or woman, or whoever is out there. Make art. And that's the most important part about this shit. And I was really nervous coming up to release this shit. I was very nervous. I mean, you could ask my wife. I was bugging out the whole week. And I normally don't bug out like this. But this project I mixed it myself. So I was very nervous. Like, I've done that before, but the last project I had, I got mixed at Shock City. So I was very nervous about the sound turnaround. And I feel like I did a really great job of mixing and mastering and bringing out the sounds that needed to be brought out, highlighting shit that needs to be highlighted, and detailing things that need to be detailed. Sonically, it has its own world. It feels like you're in between TV channels. There's a lot of different shit on here. I got a record that sounds like a Frank Ocean song. I got a record that sounds like a West Side Gun song. I got a record that sounds like, Louis said I sounded like Ken Carson on one of these fucking songs. Like, I can do it all, bro. And at the highest level, I promise you that. And I deserve a chance. I don't deserve to be slept on. And I know that's a whole lot of entitlement talk right there. But I know the work I put in. I know the music I make. I know the quality of this shit. This is too fucking good to not be talked about, to not be given some kind of acknowledgement. You know, this shit can really push your life in a different direction if you let it. And you let me be vulnerable with you and stop looking at me as just like funny old friend Buddha or whatever. Like, I'm more than that, bro. I'm complicated. I am a very complicated human being, and, you know, it takes a lot to share this shit, man. It takes a fucking lot to share this shit with you. So I want y'all to talk about it, man. I'm gonna be talking about it always. So let's have a fucking conversation and make this shit go, man. You know, this project, again, I was so nervous. I was so fucking nervous to drop it. And now it's out, and an outpour of love and, you know, great things to say about it, reviews, feedback. It's been great. But I'm still nervous. I'm still nervous about what I worry for the future so much. And I want this to meet my expectations. And I'm trying to erase expectations. It's so hard as an artist when you want your shit to be heard and you want it to be loved and you want someone to have that thirst to play your music. That's what I was talking to Louis about before the listening party. I want people to have the thirst. I want after you hear it, you go, damn, I need another sip. Go back and play that shit. And I think it does that for you. I just think you need to give it a chance and it'll do that. And there's a lot of artists in my city that, you know, get praised for very good shit. But I just truly think I make different quality stuff as far as the uniqueness. And that's going to piss people off when I say that. But it's what I believe. And I know that other people believe it too. Because they tell me. You know, it doesn't fall on fucking deaf ears. I just want y'all to experience this shit. Let it change your life and let's let it make an impact. So with that being said, I have a few things in my notes. I got to remind myself of this shit, man. Here we go. So let me talk about the process of recording this shit, man, too. I was making this for over 4 or 5 years, technically, along with my album. And I recorded some of these records at my parents' house while we had to move out of our old home at the 1219 studio house, which, if y'all know that place was the shit. And I recorded a couple records there, too, for this mixtape. And from there to my parents' house, I moved in here last year and I started recording in here, and I really gained some juice and some energy having my own studio space again. And that was pretty much how I recorded it. And, I would just, obviously, I try to let myself be driven by inspiration now, instead of going, for a while, I was just going, I need to make a song a day. And I was literally cranking out like 3 songs a day for about 6 months to a year at one point. And that's why I had so much shit. But then I slowed down and I said, I need to be inspired. I don't want to just make something for the sake of going, I want to make some shit. Granted, I'll do that still. I'd be capping if I didn't say that I'd do that shit still. But the main thing is I want to be inspired. I want to be driven by something, inspired to write something, make a beat, let my emotions drive me to create something. And a lot of that came, more so when I moved in here. I started letting inspiration do the talking instead of me just driving into my basement and fucking sitting there for hours making demos. I let my life speak for itself, which I think that's why this recording process worked really well. I think I also didn't even realize that some of these songs would fit so well together. Because I had a big issue of worrying, all right, well, I make all these different styles of music. How do I make them make sense in the context of an album together? How do I make them, put them into a world and say, this is all in this world. Here is the world for you. This is the gray area. This is blank album. That's what artists do really well, is world build. Kanye is the king of it to me. Kendrick Lamar is also the king of it too. I mean, there's just some dudes. Frank Ocean smacks it out of the park with Blonde. There's tons of artists, bands, music that I could name too, but those are just the ones that are coming to my head. Travis Scott's another big world builder. I can appreciate that with the visuals, the aesthetics. I got a lot of my aesthetics, like I said, from Untitled, and I hate the word aesthetics. It's just what's coming to my mouth. Pause. I got inspired by like the design of Untitled Unmastered, the design route of One Wayne G, Endless, all these in-between mixtape type projects that are also incredible. I mean, I loved Endless. Untitled Unmastered is Kendrick's most underrated project to me. Stuff like that. I'm trying to give you shit like that with this mixtape. And I have so much more. Like I said, I made 200 to 250 demos. I got a lot of shit I'm sitting on, man. I just really wanted this project to mirror those other projects in a similar respect. Obviously, I'm not trying to bite, but I am drawing inspiration from what they did, because I feel like I'm in a similar boat. I got too much music and y'all deserve to fucking hear it. And it's all great. I don't fuck around with corny shit. I just don't. I really believe too, the opener on this. So it's wild. I feel like this project, you could listen to it on shuffle. Kind of like Life of Pablo too, in that sense, where like anything, you could play anything in whatever order and it makes sense. It's all just in the same context. And that's another reason why I call it the gray area. I feel like it's in the gray, everything's in between hip hop and R&B, or hip hop and fucking EDM, or trap and soul, boom bap hip hop. Like, it's all, everything is in between and balanced. And I feel like I nailed it with this mixtape. And the feedback has been great. Everyone's been saying the same shit. So I just want to see it grow more. And we will see it grow more. I'm going to give myself a little break. I'm going to roll up something. I'm going to hit the weed. I'm going to come back. And I got a lot more to talk about this mixtape. I hope y'all are staying tuned, man. Don't change the motherfucking channel.
I always gotta say some shit,
feel like this the only way people listen though. Yeah. See now it's light work, see how this life work. I need the right words for me to fight yours. I'm not a bad guy, I just defend mine. I hate a motherfucker telling me I'm not right. More logical, less emotional, less music that's promotional. More shit with an open soul, more flow and less know your role. You know, hey. Rappers tore up like ACLs, you just a ligament. See, I don't play that shit, I'm fucking different. Can't read the moment sometimes like I'm illiterate. I can't just start some shit and not finish it. My words are so deliberate, the way that I deliver it. I'ma need deliverance, lately I've been needing bliss. So I have been ignorant, know that I'm not innocent, but my heart is legitimate. I wish I was a kid again, and why do I always feel like I need reassurance? I don't like to ride the waves, I get caught up in the current. I just do me and build up my endurance. Fucking with the boy, you might need life insurance. Get me off the wall if I ever start projecting. Get up out my way if you blocking out the entrance. We can all eat if you move in this direction. I prefer chicken wings with sauce and ranch dressing. Buddha been the man since the 92 Dream Team. OG fans been with it since. We are back, and I am smacked. Just rolled up a doobie of Jungle Cookies and Cheetah Piss, which I think is the craziest name for weed ever. And I'm feeling good. And I played the mixtape while I was chilling and smoking and shit just to keep myself in the mindset, talking about it and the inspirations behind it. The first half, obviously, we gave you a little bit of a breakdown and kind of let my subconscious go and yammer a little bit about the mixtape for 20-something minutes, however long that was. And we're going to continue to do that. We will continue to talk about that subject matter, and I hope you're interested. I hope you care as much as I do. That's what I want. I want y'all to care as much as I do. I want y'all to see everything that I do almost the same way I do. I know that's unrealistic. You all have different experiences, but I'm trying my best to portray this shit so you can see it from my angle as well. Anyway, you're probably wondering, too, this interesting shirt we got here. This shit's so dope. So I had a listening party here. I try to do some kind of event to, and it doesn't have to be big. Sometimes it can be intimate. Sometimes it just depends on what I want. I am the artist. I get to dictate what the fuck I see fits, And I felt like we moved into this house. We have a nice little studio area in our basement, and it could fit about 15 people max, maybe 20, down here to just kick it, listen to the mixtape, play some drinking games, whatever the fuck you like to do. We go outside and roll up, and we were probably blowing smoke out our ass the whole fucking night out on the patio too, either way, that's just what we did. We had a listening party, and that was the Saturday. That was a part of why I moved the release to Monday as well, is because I wanted the listening party to feel more exclusive. I wanted it to feel like you were getting something that wasn't out yet, and they did. Everyone who came, it was fucking amazing. Tons of other artists that I respect and look up to, but let me explain the shirt. I guess that's the whole point I'm trying to get to here. Bad Taste, who produced on the project, he's kind of like a creative director I go to for a lot of help on this shit. He came up with the idea for almost like a one-of-one exclusive merch drop. Just get a white t-shirt and have everyone at the listening party while you're listening to the mixtape. If you're inspired by something, you get up and you draw it on the shirt. I'd love to find a way to get this reprinted and then sold as multiple shirts, but we'll move on and figure out how to do that. I'm still in the creative stages of that, but it's something I'd love to do. But this shirt is sick. Tell me it's not cool. Look at this. You probably can't really get a good angle, but I have a Spider-Man wall over here. It's like comics I got hanging up. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. My homie Brent drew the Spider-Man. I don't know who drew everything. Some of them are signed by people. I love this one. This was this new dude I met, Ben, who he's in a band that's sick as fuck. And love Baker, super producer right there. Coal Mind. I think Slow drew this. I think it was Slow. And this is me, bro. This is hard as fuck. It's like me with the bandana, the Pro Field bandana. And then I got my little goatee, or my not goatee, my little 5 o'clock shadow. And then, it looks like this is Bastard Twins right here. That's Nate and Cole. I think Andy drew the mushrooms. I just think that this was a really cool concept for a merch drop thing. Even if I don't end up getting the other shirts made, and this is just something that I get to hold on to remember for the mixtape, or give it away to somebody as well. But we got, it's fabric pens, so, you can wash this shit, I think. I don't know how that shit works. But I love it. I think Louis came up with a really cool idea, and I think it's a good piece of memorabilia. And everyone's involved. This keeps it connected. Keeps you a part of the experience. You are a part of the gray area now. Like, it's not just my show, man. It's almost like with a lot of my releases currently, they're very TV themed. I don't know how or why, but that's just where it leaned into. And I think creatively it makes sense because I'm very sporadic and I'm almost changing like channels, and there's tons of different outputs you get with me. It's just like I'm a walking TV. I reflect pop culture in a weird way, and that's why I feel like the gray area came about in this album. That is, I'll leak a little information. It's TV themed. That's all I'm gonna give you right now, and that's why the gray area is kind of like the prelude to it in a way, prelude, whatever you say. I feel like the merch drop is really cool, and what I want to do with it too. This is just an idea. I haven't done it yet. I'm probably leaking too much on here because I don't like to share before I do. I like to do, because talking about it doesn't do shit. But I was going to take a picture of this shirt with me wearing it, obviously, front and the back of it. And I was going to frame it up, put that on a shirt. So it's me wearing the shirt on a shirt. And then the back picture would be the fucking on the back of the shirt too. I don't know. I got some interesting ideas I want to do. I really wasn't planning to do merch. I didn't look at this project as anything more than just a freebie tape for y'all to listen to more of me. But now I feel like it's earned that. I think it's a really cool project, and I don't want it to fall short of its potential. And I think the potential is there. And why not maximize it? Why not let it breathe life into itself and into other people, and so on and so forth. The listening party was a success, man. All the names I mentioned on here, we had just a great group of people who are all other sick artists and make cool ass music, and it was cool. It felt like Yeezy season 3 when Kanye was dropping Life of Pablo and was passing the aux. And let me tell you on some inspiration shit too. That was a moment where I changed the way I thought about things, because my buddy Daniel got us tickets to, Kanye did like a live stream of it in theaters across America when it happened, I guess. And Daniel got tickets for us to go watch Yeezy season 3 premiere with the Life of Pablo listening party. And that changed the way I viewed everything. Everything. How you make an album, how you release it, the songs that go on there, the experience, the people who are involved. It turned something on in my brain that I can't turn off now. And I think it's been great for me, but it's also been torment because I want to reach those standards. And it's so hard to see that happen quickly. But with that being said, we did a similar thing, super small scale. I mean, we weren't selling out an arena. We were in my fucking basement. But we had about 15 to 20 people coming and going to, like, some people listened to that album on the first listen and then had to bounce, and then vice versa. With the second half, they came late and listened to the second half, whatever. But we had about 20-ish people in total come over and listen to the mixtape, and everybody was fucking with it. The first listen, I had my head down and I wasn't looking around because I was too focused on how it was experiencing for me. I was trying to be present, which I'm never really present. So I was just soaking it in and letting the visuals play out in my head and let everything play out with who I am and what I am. Then I went outside, we drank, we took some tequila shots. I was fucking wasted. I haven't drank in like a month to 2 months, basically, and I got just obliterated. But rightfully so. I wanted to celebrate this project, and I did. We went out, we took tequila shots, we rolled up some blunts, joints, whatever, got fried, came back in, listened to it a second time, and that's when I was looking around the room. And I just saw the reactions from everybody, and I was like, damn, this really is good. This is something that, I'm not crazy. That's something I'm going to speak on real quick, too. As an artist, I don't know if other artists out there watching this feel like this, but when you release something and you think it's good, and sometimes it falls on deaf ears because marketing and promotion is such a stupid thing to have to worry about these days, but you have to worry about it. And you almost question yourself so much that you go, am I crazy? Did I think this was good and it's not good? Did I think that this was elite and it's not elite? But when you have a room of people, all different backgrounds too, different mindsets, different tastes, and they all collectively come as a Venn diagram and say, I'm fucking with this shit, that's special. And that happened. That was confirmation for me. I was like, fuck, I don't care how bad this hangover is tomorrow. I am so excited to see this project come out. And it might be a slow burn to see it build up and get heard in as many years as possible, but I'm ready to see what can happen with it. It's so special, man. And the listening party, again, reaffirmed that and confirmed that it was really special. Other people resonated with it. And I got some great texts. Again, my buddy Nick Duncan said just exactly that the whole mixtape resonates with him. And he was referencing so many lyrics. My Muggsy Bogues. So I have this bar on one song. What is it? I make big boy moves. I'm Shaquille O'Neal. Man, you Muggsy Bogus. You ain't out here for real. I just like that bar. Play on Muggsy Bogues. Muggsy Bogus. You're little, I'm big type shit. I don't know. It's a simple bar, but I think it's fucking cool. And then I got this, I'm just going to reference some lyrics I'm thinking of that I really like. On the outro, there's these bars. What do I say? I don't like to ride the waves. I get caught up in the current. That could mean whatever you want it to mean. But to me, I feel like it means I'm not trying to trend ride. Because if I do, I get sucked into the current, and I get pulled away kind of thing. Or this is again, double entendre, triple entendre, however you want it. It has so many background meanings to it. I don't like to ride the waves. I get caught up in the current. I don't like to see what y'all are doing. I'm too focused on my current, my presence. I promise you, I got some of the best fucking lyrics out here you just need. And some of them are simple, but the simple and they're layered. They have simple with complex backgrounds. And context to the songs. I have these lyrics on this other song too. It's for 72522. I think that's the name of the title. It is like, how's the hook go? It's feels like every day the same, and I ain't got no one else to blame. Sitting here waiting for a change, ain't gonna happen till I get up out my way. Even when the sky's turning gray and you feel like you just need a break. It's just a song about everything around you feeling fake, numb to the core every day. The hook lyrics are just very, it's And the verse too is fire. I just perform the whole song for you, but I'm not going to do that on my podcast. But the lyrics are so good. It's very relatable, man. You ever feel like you're stuck in a routine? I wrote that song feeling like I was trapped in a routine that I couldn't change. Every day's the same. I just wake up, I shower, I go to work, I come home, I play video games, I smoke some weed, I make a beat and hope for the best. And shower, rinse, repeat. And it feels like you can't really appreciate that shit sometimes. So that's what that song's about. And before I dive into other lyrics I do want to touch on this too. My brain's all over the place right now. The track lists, they're all titled after the dates that the songs were created. It's not traditional by any means at all. Like, a lot of normal songs are just the name of the title, or like some creative name. And I do feel like these are creative in a sense that it documents that point in my life. You go, oh, well, I get what he was going through on July 5th or 2022. And now I understand why, he was moving this way or whatever. It just adds context. And I thought it was a creative way to, get my shit out there. I think that's what Mac DeMarco did. I'm not trying to bite the whole fucking thing, but I thought the idea was cool and usable and it made sense for this. And I think the track list was one of the more interesting concepts coming up about this shit. I know it's simple, but like documenting each date that each song was created, that is a very interesting and different thing to me. And I hope that y'all think the same way too. Back onto the lyrics, because I just wanted to explain that before I dove any deeper. Damn, what's the other one that I really like? Let me go and eat before the shit gets sold. I'm always worried about missing my goals. When I get old, how much my shit sold. Losing control, but won't lose my soul. Oh, fuck. That whole, 3:19:23? All the bars on that. I just love them. They're fun. And they are great rap bars. Feels like almost like a Mad Libby, Freddie Gibbs kind of thing almost in a way. Or like just some kind of awesome sample with a fucking awesome set of raps over it. And then I got this other one. It's like, Louis says it sounds like a tequila commercial. 7/19/22. It's like this, it's kind of got a little like Latino vibe to it. Gets you up and dancing, makes you want to take a shot of tequila. Bitches are shaking their ass to it. Like, dudes are smoking fucking stogies, and it's just some boss fucking I'm in Mexico shit. And there's this lyric on there that I really like. What is it? I smoke just like a Rasta. I ain't lying, not Mufasa, and that's how it be, man. Listen, I'm fierce just like Sasha. I love all those bars there, but mainly the punchline at the end. I'm fierce just like Sasha is sick to me, because Sasha Fierce is Beyonce. I think that's like one of her alter egos that she goes by. And I just thought that was a really cool bar. It's simple, but cool. And I ain't lying, not Mufasa. I thought that was a really cool bar too. I just think that the whole album has really cool moments too. Like 3:25:23 is this like super open, spacey, windows down while you're driving type song. And it really takes you somewhere out of where you're at when you're listening to it. And that's what I love about it. 7/7/22. It's kind of like my Frank Ocean song, something that the closest thing I could aspire to making a R&B indie Frank Ocean type vibe. And it's one of my favorite songs I've ever made. I was going to call it Stereotype originally. And the lyrics are very heavy. The melodies are just beautiful, lush. And I was very proud of my singing voice on there. There's just so many high points on this fucking mixtape. I mean, I would literally pick one for every song if I could just sit here and do it. I mean, I feel like I kind of did throughout this whole podcast. But I just want y'all to listen to it the same way I listen to it. The visuals, when you watch those, see them the same way I see them. All the visuals we're dropping too, they're supposed to be like almost you're watching the gray area on TV in a way, and like the TV's glitching out and in between RGB colors and fucking, it's just me screaming at you through the TV about all this shit. All the visuals were shot pretty much fucking at the crib. And it was me, Louie, and Brent. And then, you know, the first video we shot, we had a lot of help from Kendall and Benny too. But they've turned out sick as fuck. And I am very excited to give you more. The 11/28/23 visuals out. That's probably my favorite one. I don't know. We'll see. I love 10/22/22. I've said enough. I'm not going to tell you which other ones I'm dropping off of there. But 11/28/23 is out, and it's sick. It's this super colorful, radiant, neon-driven vibe. Fits with the rage beat. Pairs really well. I look like Zordon from the Power Rangers in it. That was a reference, by the way. We wanted me to look like Zordon. And originally, we wanted the video to almost be like those old Apple commercials where it's a color background and a black body just dancing through it. But we went the opposite, where the background was black and then I was like neoned out almost. And you could just see my gestures and my motions. It was sick. Came out dope. Gave me a lot of hope to continue to shoot a lot of our own visuals. I feel like we have a good hand in our idea of editing. We know what we're looking for now. And every visual that we've shot, I'm super satisfied with. Sounded like I was about to say sad. Satisfied with, and I can't wait to give them to you. It'll only make you dive deeper into the songs and the mixtape. When you listen and watch this shit, it's gonna connect the dots. You'll go, oh, that makes sense now. I get it. That's why this happened. That's why he did this. That's why this song sounds like this. That's why the visuals look like this. Everything will connect the dots if you just watch. I mean, I could yap about this fucking mixtape forever. My camera looks like it's about to cook out. It's been great getting back and talking on the podcast. Obviously about my own shit. You know, it's something that I needed to get off. We have more guests we're going to get on. I got everybody lined up. I'm just waiting to get done with the rollout for the mixtape. So please be patient with me. We will get back to giving you some great podcast episodes and content and discovering more of St. Louis's best artists, coolest artists, most talented and, exclusive visionaries here. But for now, we're focused on my music, and I hope that you are too. And I really want y'all to stand behind me, man. I'm gonna leave y'all with this message. I believe in myself so fucking much, but I also don't at the same fucking time. And a lot of people deal with this shit. And, I should never look for validation, but when I have people rooting for me, man, I promise you that lights a fire under my fucking ass like nobody else's business, bro. Like, I'm ready to take this shit over, and I'm not waiting anymore. I've got a lot to share. I've got a lot musically that I can give you. I know I am one of the greatest that can do this shit. I'm not just trying to say that to blow steam up my ass. Maybe I am, but it's what makes me believe, and I do believe. And everything I've heard, everything I make, everything I create is special and one-of-one, and y'all deserve to feel like you can be a part of it. So root for me, man. Cheer me on. We got some shit going. I promise you this is going to be a very special year for me and for everyone else involved. I can't wait to take things to another level with the next release, the album, singles, merch drops. And I'm ready to get back to performing live again, too. I just needed to get my head on straight. I turned down a lot of shows because, I was just trying to understand who I was and musically what I deserved to be doing and the right way of going about it. And now I know. And I ain't waiting. I ain't wasting time. I'm ready to give you me 110% unfiltered, raw, and more talented and creative than ever. So with that being said, go download and play the Gray Area everywhere. Stream that shit. Play the 11/28/23 video. Show your friends my fucking podcast. We're cool as fuck, man. We ain't fucking around. We're having a good time, bitch. I don't know what else to tell you, man. I can't wait to talk about some bullshit, too. I'm ready to get on here and talk some shit about the Kendrick diss. Talk about hoops, basketball. Talk about Caitlin Clark. She's a beast. Talk about Invincible. Dune 2 was incredible. We'll get back to that shit. But for right now, please go stream the Gray Area. And don't waste time. Watch the videos too. 11/28/23 video out now. We are not playing games. Don't change the channel. Remember Buddha TV. We're out.